Welcome back to Tom Dave's Live. Today we have Casey Leyba and Ed Leyba joining us. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Oh, doing awesome. Doing great. So glad you could all jump on this call. And for any of those that may not know you guys, if you could share just a little bit about yourself, and let's go ahead and start with Casey. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm married to this amazing man right here. Pretty happy about that. I've been licensed a little over 20 years now. I had graduated college and came straight into real estate. I was one of those.
Awesome. Well, that's a great journey. How about you, Ed?
Yeah, I've been in real estate about 24 years, 25 years coming up. I've did anything from sales. I was a team leader with Keller Williams and OP, and then recently got rid of all the Keller Williams offices we owned and joined EXP.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit pre-real estate. Casey, tell us a little bit about yourself before real estate.
Pre-real estate, I went to college to play basketball and then started my journey. So I really didn't do much other than grow up. I grew up in a small town in Montana, then moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming to finish my high school career, and went to college a couple different places, ended up in New Mexico. And then my big sister lived in Colorado Springs. She was in the Navy. And after I graduated, moved to Colorado Springs back in 2003.
Wow. And that's just beautiful. It's an amazing place to be. So how about you, Ed? Tell us a little bit pre-real estate. Tell us, where were you born and raised? And tell about your journey before you got into real estate.
I'm a military brat. I was born in Yokosuka Naval Hospital in Japan. Moved all around the world, settled in Colorado Springs. Prior to real estate, I worked in a manufacturing plant, a check printing plant. So we printed checks. Did that for many years. At the time, right before real estate, I was in entry-level management, having fun. It was a skate job. And then my daughter was born. Right? When my daughter was born, it changed everything.
Yeah.
And so the mom worked day shift, I worked day shift, and we took my daughter to daycare. And the first 3 days I went to pick her up, it was like dried tears in her eyes. And so I asked the lady, hey, what's going on? And she's like, Ed, she's crying all the time. I don't know what to do. And that just broke my heart. So then I was like, okay, well, the next day I went to work and told them that I needed to get off the day shift and go to night shift. I'd do anything to go on nights. So they said, absolutely, we can do that. And I took the most peon job on night shift. But my daughter never had to go to daycare again. Right? So I eventually worked my way back up into entry-level management on the night shift, but I'm tired all the time because I'm getting home at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and getting up at 6 with my daughter. And so I was like, there's got to be something else. And anybody who knows me knows I love sports. And so I was and I love collecting sports memorabilia. So I was like, man, I can turn this into a business. So I took my little collection and started doing an online business and started making enough money where I could quit work and stay at home and be with my daughter. So did that for a few years. Then it was, I had just enough money to stay home, but nothing to do anything fun with. So it's like, what's next? And so that's when I decided to get into real estate.
Wow. Well, let's continue on that journey. And then what was the first company that you joined when you got into the real estate business?
Yeah, I joined Keller Williams.
Okay.
And back then it was, I've never really heard of them. And just something told me, go to that office. So I went and joined Keller Williams. I did pretty good going up. I started in April. My first closing was in November. So it took a while, but then it started kicking off. So probably month 16, 17 or so, I had 15 closings in my belt. And to me, that was a lot of money compared to what I was making before.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but I'm on the phone all the time. Right? And so I'm picking up the phone, and my daughter's like, Dad, I'm at dinner, and the phone rings. I'm on the phone, Dad. And again, mine just broke my heart. So that point forward, I was like, all right, babe, I'm not going to work anymore. So what I did was I decided to create a team. And from that day forward, I never worked another night or weekend again. Right. And so if it was business coming in during the daytime, I would do it. If it was on the evenings or the weekends, I refer out to a team member of mine, and they got 50% back. So I figured, all right, well, if I'm getting 50% back with this, all I have to do is lead generate, find another buyer or seller, pass them on, and then that makes me even, right? And so did that for a while, ended up growing a team, doing pretty good, and then another Keller Williams office came and recruited me to be their team leader. And I was like, well, why would I give up what I'm making here for $4,000 a month? Why would I do that? Right. And I kind of saw a big picture with that. So I negotiated a little bit of ownership. So they gave me free ownership when I went over there. And then I was like, it was an office that had maybe 20 some agents. They were losing money like crazy. So I was like, all right, well, I want 25% of all the profits we create. And they were like, absolutely, because there was none anyways. Right. And so I ended up doing that. I gave up my team because I was a team leader. I couldn't sell. So I actually gave up my team instead of keeping it going. I gave it up and did the team leader full time. Ended up growing it like crazy. Right. Got to the point where we had 100 agents. We were making good money. And then the owner decided he didn't want to be an owner anymore and asked me to buy it. And so I bought it. Plan was I got into business with my sister and husband. And the husband was supposed to be the operating principal, and I was going to stay the team leader. Went through all that, but KW wouldn't approve him to be the operating principal. So I had to step up and be the operating principal. And with operating principal, you got to sell real estate to make money. So then I had to start my team over again. Sure. And so for the longest time, started a team, worked. Remember, I'm a family guy, so I was always home before my kids went to school, and I was always home before they came home from school. Always, right? And so Casey will tell you when she first started, I would work from 8:39 to 11:30 every day. And during that time frame, I ran multiple Keller Williams offices. Eventually opened up an office in Grand Junction, right? Button an office downtown. So I ran multiple offices. Had a real estate team. I was totally out of production. Had a real estate team that did 100, 150 transactions every single year for the last 15, 20 years. And from that point forward, I got tired of what's a good way? I decided not to be an owner anymore.
Wow.
So we sold all the offices we were a part of and made the move.
Wow. Well, I love the fact that you have your priorities with your family and what's really important, because this business, it can just take over your life, and that's not a good thing. So, and I know you were one of the top team leaders with KW in the country. And so that's really an inspiration for all of us to keep your priorities, and you can still be very, very successful. So Casey, how about you? What inspired you to get into real estate? Let's hear a little bit about that.
When I was a little girl, I would sit on my great aunt's lap, and she'd be covered in all of this fancy jewelry. And then this is like really small town, Montana. And she would come to visit, and I was just enamored by her because I was a little tomboy with the bowl haircut and ripped up jeans, and I was just always enamored with her. And that's pretty much how I got into it. After I graduated college, I found out that they'd actually owned a gold mine, that it wasn't, I'm not sure if it was the real estate or the mine, or who knows what the story was on that. But that was pretty much my journey there.
And then what company did you join?
So I started as well at Keller Williams.
Yeah.
And I was there for about 5 years, and then I left for 5 years. I went to an amazing independent company in town, and then I actually went and opened my own brokerage. And this gentleman sat me down, took to coffee and told me that I was thinking too small. And I was sitting there like, what is this guy saying to me? Like, I have my name on the sign. But I knew in the back of my head of what my economic model was, that for retirement or for any of those pathways, that I was thinking too small, that it was nice of all of the things, and you felt that you were making a lot of money. Most of the agents were doing 20 plus units a year. I had one lady that she was like the queen of bank owns in town and would push 70 to 80 units by herself. And it was fun. And, but then I knew that there was much more. And I did miss the collaboration of worldwide conversations and the network and the friends that I had made across the country of being at KW. So I came back, and he had baited me with, here's some ownership. So I took that opportunity and ran with it, and then we have an amazing team leader, and he's a legend in the state and in our community. And I went to Ed and I was like, I want to be your team leader. And I had a successful team that we all moved over and continued to grow my real estate production team. And then being an owner, I just was like, let's go. Like, we're not scratching the surface yet of where this company can go. And then we took it, we were number 12 in the city of the brokerages of all of them in Colorado Springs. And we drove it to number 1. And I was like, okay, let me figure out what else is next after that. So
she's not telling you, Casey was a black belt team leader with KW. She was a top team leader in Colorado, right? And one of the tops in the nation. She recruited hundreds of people. She coached more people to become millionaire real estate agents than any other office in Colorado. Right. So this lady eventually was the most powerful woman real estate agent in Colorado Springs, right? Had ownership in multiple offices that had over 500 agents, right? Ran a great team, ran a great office, coached many people to be very successful. Our office was known for the office of opportunity. We've created more Keller Williams team leaders throughout the nation than any other office in Colorado. Any of them. There's probably, I think last count was 10 Keller Williams team leaders throughout the nation out of our personal office. Yeah. We've created more owners in Keller Williams than any other office. So now we gotta, now I saw the light, so other people need to come see the light.
Yeah. Well, you both are legends. That's amazing. So, and we're just honored to have you at eXp Realty, both of you. And so you could have joined any real estate company and brokerage. And I know a lot of brokerages and independents were calling you. And so what inspired you to join eXp Realty?
Well, we've talked to everybody and all the CEOs of all the major companies, offered a lot by a lot of companies, and it really all boiled down to who you're in business with matters. So I will tell you, meeting you, Jackie, and everybody in our organization, that group there clicked, because I talked to probably 50 other Keller Williams agents over my years, back to when it first started. And no one could ever make it make sense to me, right? And everybody led off with the stocks and the revenue share. And, to me, that's not it. It's how you're going to build my business and who am I surrounding myself with? So after Casey and I talked, right, the group we're in now, they have the same values that we have. They do the same things. They're in there to help out everybody else, right? And so that was real important to us.
I think, and a big thing is it's about heart and how people care for people. Like, we can absolutely teach business. It's not hard. but it truly boils down to the heart and to the passion, because those are things that you can't teach.
And she's 100% correct. That's when we ran the offices, we put all of our time and money into the agents that had hearts, because if we knew we can take them to the next level and change their life, they would in turn change the lives of many other people.
Well, that is so true. It's who you're in business with that really, really matters. And it comes down to values and vision and collaboration. You know, Jim Rohn says you're the sum total of the 5 people you spend most time with. And he also says that it's really, really important to be in business with people that you can trust. And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right?
Love that one. Yes.
That's just amazing. And we're so glad that you partnered with us, eXp Realty. Super excited at what we all can accomplish together. And it's just, there's so much opportunity right now. So many people that really we can serve our clients, other colleagues and agents and team leaders. So let me ask, if anyone wants to get a hold of you all, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best thing to do is to text us, right?
Okay.
My number is 719-651-0085. I'm a huge texter, right? Text me and then I'll call you if you need a phone call. But
if you're a talker, call me.
Yes.
Mine's 719-649-6271.
Awesome. Well, Casey and Ed, thank you so much for joining us. And if any of you have any questions or need anything, reach out to Casey, Ed, or myself, and we'd love to share. Thank you so much and have a great day. See you guys.
You too. Bye.